Good morning. It's good to be with you on this Tuesday morning. Hope you have your week is off to a good start this week. Hope you had a good Memorial Day yesterday. Things are rocking and rolling. My office continues to be a disaster zone one day. Well, I just one day. Pretty soon it will be not a disaster zone, but that will not be today. So today we are going to be continuing into Ecclesiastes. We're looking at Ecclesiastes chapter 9 today. So let's do Ecclesiastes. We're going to read the whole chapter. Ecclesiastes chapter 9. It's 18 verses, so it's not that much. Well, actually, you know what? I'm lying to you. We're not going to do all 18 verses. We're actually going to cut off at verse 16 because verses 17 kind of actually lend themselves into verse 10 based off eh, poetic, patterns that it follows. So we're actually just going to read through verse 16 today. All this I laid to heart, examining it all, how the righteous and the wise and their deeds are in the hand of God. Whether it is love or hate, one does not know. Everything that comes from them is vanity, since the same fate comes to all, the righteous and the wicked, to the good and the evil, to the clean and the unclean, to those who sacrifice and those who do not sacrifice. All are good. So are the sinners, those who swear like those who shun an oath. This is an evil, and all that happens under the sun. The same fate comes to everyone. Moreover, the hearts of all are full of evil. Madness is in their hearts while they live, and after that they go to the dead. But whoever is joined with all the living has hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. The living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing. They have no more reward, and even the memory of them is lost. Their love and their hate and their envy have already perished. Never again will they have any share of all that happened under the sun. Go eat your bread with enjoyment, and drink your wine with a merry heart, for God has long ago approved what you do. Let your garments always be white, and do not let oil be lacking on your head. Enjoy life with the wife whom you love, and all the days of your vain life that are given to you under the sun, because that is your portion in life, and in your toil at which you toil under the sun. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might. For there is no work or thought or knowledge or wisdom in Sheol, to which you are going. Again I saw that under the sun the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor the bread to the wise, nor the skillful, but time and chance happen to them all. For no one can anticipate the time of disaster. Like a fish taken in a cruel net, and like birds caught in a snare, so mortals are snared at the time of calamity, when it suddenly falls on them. I have also seen this example under the sun, and it seemed great to me. There was a little city with few people in it, and a great king came against it and besieged it, building great siege works against it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he in his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no one remembered that poor man. So I say, wisdom is better than might. Yet the poor man's wisdom is despised. His words are not heeded. So we see once again the teacher struggling with what he sees in the world, the story of the city that was sieged and it was saved by the poor man, but no one remembered the poor man. The battle is not to the wise, to the swift, to the strong, bread to the wise. But chance happens to us all. I think that's an interesting thing to think about is that chance happens to all of them. And so you see once again him struggling with the uncertainty of all of life. He speaks of certainty. Madness is in their hearts where they live. They go to the dead. Death awaits all of us. Um, he keeps trying to find meaning in the things of this world, which ultimately cannot produce meaning. And that is ultimately what it comes down to over and over and over again in Ecclesiastes is that he's trying to find meaning in something that cannot ultimately produce meaning. And so he says, I think that's why he comes back to, hey, enjoy life. Eat, drink, be merry. These things. I think that's why he always tends to circle back to that because we can have a lot of criticism of eating, drinking, and being merry. That's a line that's used quite often as life can be frivolous. We can miss things that matter if all we do is eat, drink, and be merry. But I do think there is something to be said for the notion that comes from eating and drinking and being merry, because when we are eating with the people we love, when we are hanging out and drinking and talking and visiting with those we love, we find some meaning there that we're not going to find in other places. When we eat lunch with the person we love or care for, our friends, whenever we go to a party, we go to a ball game or a concert, and you're just together with those of the same mind and purpose, when you go to church, when we're in community with each other. I think that's why he keeps circling back to that concept, because he does know that there's something beautiful in community. There's something beautiful with being with people that you love. There's something beautiful with being with people that matter to you. And that's what I do think the longer I live, the more I'm a pastor, the more I love people, the more I'll walk with people, the more I do truly understand that ultimately the relationships that we have, the relationships that we form, the relationships that we live with is ultimately where meaning is found. That meaning is found in times of relationship, in times of shared laughter and shared story. Meaning is found in these things. And so I don't want to tritely say eat, drink, and be merry, because that sounds dismissive. But I would say spend time with those you love. Prioritize meals with those you love. Prioritize coffee meetings and times with those you love. Prioritize spending time with your spouse, with your children. Prioritize those relationships in your life that are life-giving to you. Prioritize relationships with your colleagues, with your fellow church members. If you're a pastor, prioritize relationships with your fellow clergy. Because we do spend time chasing vanity. We spend time on money and power and influence and all manner of stuff like that, and we find that those things are nothing but vanity. And so maybe his triteness of eating, drinking, and being merry are not perhaps the best foundation to build our life on, perhaps the best motto for the living of our life. I would say that community is a good start. I would say prioritizing our relationships is a good start. Because the stuff you buy, no stuff will stand over your graveside when you're gone. But your spouse will if they're living, your children will, your friends will, your colleagues will, those relationships will. So as we think about life and think about what matters, and think about our place in the world, and think about our priorities in the world, and think about what God has for us to do in the world, I do believe there are far worse things we could do than prioritize relationships. I do believe there are far worse things we can do than prioritize the people we love. I do think there are far worse things we can do than making sure that we're spending time with the people we love, the people that define us, the people that make us. So today, don't isolate yourself. Don't spend all your time alone. Text the person, the people that mean the most to you. Just text them today. Tell them you love them. Tell them what they mean to you. Speak to them. Write a note. Make a phone call. Whatever. Prioritize those relationships. And I promise you that when we do that, kind of like what the teacher says, we'll actually find something worthwhile. So today, relationships matter, friends. That's what matters. So I hope we can lean into those relationships. Have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Thanks.